community since 1918. Service is our motto. The poor, the rich, the middle class, and all are given the best of care and attention at all times. You have the privilege to select what you want. In your time of need, contact the capable, the competent, and the dependable staff of the Jwwilliams Funeral Home who is genuinely concerned with your care. At Jwwilliams Funeral Home, you are aptly served by the proprietor president, Deacon Arthur L. Parker, who continues the traditions and values set forth by the past president, Dr. Napoleon Williams. Your announcements for the Jwwilliams Funeral Home Sunday morning program are Deacon Arthur L. Parker, Reverend Isaac H. Owens, Mrs. Calandra Wilkerson Parker, Minister Frankie Harmon, Ms. Sandra Johnson, and Deacon Earl Clark, Jr.
Thank you, and good morning, friends. We come to you this morning to bring announcements, dedications, and songs. We certainly hope that your day may be brighter after listening to our program. The family of Mr. Abraham Smith, Jr. of Cobb, Georgia. The family of Mrs. Cynthia Ann Bloom Mathis of Byronville, Georgia. The family of Mr. John Arthur Mays, Jr. of Smithville, Georgia. Would like to thank their many friends for the food, the flowers, the condolences, and all other expressions of sympathy and kindness shown to them during their hours of sorrow and bereavement during the past week. Mr. Abraham Smith, Jr., age 62, of 308 Bailey Road, Cobb, Georgia, died Tuesday, June 17th, at his residence in Cobb, Georgia. The funeral service for Mr. Abraham Smith, Jr., age 62, was held Sunday, June 22nd, in the sanctuary of the Pleasant Grove Baptist Church in Cobb, Georgia. The Reverend Fred Peavy officiated. The pastor, Reverend Sterling Vereen, delivered the eulogy. The burial followed in the churchyard cemetery. Survivors include his loving and devoted sibling, Chairman Deacon Eddie Brooks, Jr. of Cobb, Georgia, Mr. Willie James Brooks and his wife, Mrs. Charmaine Brooks of Columbus, Georgia, Mrs. Gloria Jean Smith Payne and her husband, Mr. John Payne of Nashville, Tennessee, Mr. Willie Smith and Miss Easter Hall, his beloved nieces and nephews, Mrs. Teresa Thomas and her husband, Mr. Derek Thomas, Mr. Eddie G. Brooks, Miss Angela Green and her husband, Mr. Vincent Green, Deacon Scotty Brooks and his wife, Mrs. Sonia Brooks, Mrs. Michelle Ford and her husband, Mr. Randy Ford, Mr. Chris Brooks and his wife, Mrs. Cassandra Brooks, Miss Latonya Redmond and her husband, Mr. Archie Redmond, Mr. Eric Burse, Miss Ruby Johnson, and Mr. Jermaine Davis, a host of cousin Ann Bloom Mathis, age 64, of 725 Church Avenue, Byronville, Georgia, died Monday, June 23rd, at her residence in Byronville, Georgia. The funeral service for Mrs. Cynthia Ann Bloom Mathis, age 64, was held Thursday, June 26, in the sanctuary of the New Poplar Spring Baptist Church in Byronville, Georgia. The pastor, Reverend Johnny Dean, officiated. The burial followed at the Forest Chapel Church Cemetery in Pinehurst, Georgia. Survivors include her loving and devoted husband, Mr. Willie B. Mathis Sr. of Byronville, Georgia. Her loving and devoted children, Mrs. Tanjanika Mathis of Byronville, Georgia, Miss Lakeisha Mathis of McDonald, Georgia, Mr. Demetrius Mathis and his wife, Mrs. Messina Mathis of Powder Springs, Georgia, and Miss Cindy Mathis of Tifton, Georgia. 3 beloved grandchildren, Miss Brianna Mathis of Vienna, Georgia, Miss Macy Mathis, and Miss McKinley Mathis of Powder Springs, Georgia. Her beloved sisters, Miss Canaris Slaughter, Miss Sandra Brown, and Miss Mary Osby, all of Byronville, Georgia. Miss Tiffany Mathis of Vienna, Georgia. Her brothers-in-law, Mr. Larry Johnson, Mr. Lonnie Mathis and his wife, Mrs. Mercy Mathis, Deacon Henry Mathis and his wife, Mrs. Mary Francis Mathis, and the Reverend Ronnie Mathis and his wife, Mrs. Betty Mathis. Her sisters-in-law, Miss Elois Bernard, Miss Edna Spivey, and her husband, Mr. Jeff Spivey, Mrs. Geraldine Jones, and her husband, Mr. Robert Jones, Mrs. Felita Bryant, and her husband, Mr. Eric Bryant, and Mrs. Annie Merritt, Mrs. Nellie Howard, a host of nieces and nephews, cousins, other relatives, and many, many sorrowing friends survive Mrs. Cynthia Ann Bloom Mathis, age 64, of 725 Church Avenue, Byronville, Georgia. Mr. John Arthur Mays Jr., age 45, of 234 Mays Road, Smithville, Georgia, died Wednesday, June 18, in Kansas City, Kansas. The funeral service for Mr. John Arthur Mays Jr., age 45, was held Saturday, June 28th, in the chapel of the Jwwilliams Funeral Home in Cordele, Georgia. His pastor, the Reverend Christopher Perry, pastor of the Piney Grove No. 3 Baptist Church in Smithville, Georgia, officiated. Survivors include his loving and devoted sister, Mrs. Ladidra Mays, and her husband, Mr. Daniel Mays of Smithville, Georgia. His beloved aunts and uncles, Miss Shalene Ware of Ellenwood, Georgia, Mrs. Evelyn Mays Wright and her husband Deacon Arthur Wright of Cobb, Georgia, Mrs. Maddie Sue Childs and her husband Sir Claude Childs of Conyers, Georgia, and Mr. Horace Noble Mays Sr. of Leslie, Georgia. Two good cousins he regarded as brothers, Mr. Horace Noble Mays Jr. of Leslie, Georgia, and Mr. Timothy James Kent of Savannah, Georgia. His sister friend, Miss Stacy Rowland, and her husband, Mr. John Tavius Rowland of Leesburg, Georgia. A host of other cousins, other relatives, and many sorrowing friends survived Mr. John Arthur Mays Jr., age 45, of 234 Mays Road, Smithfield, Georgia. Again, the family of Mr. Abraham Smith Jr. of Cobb, Georgia, the family of Mrs. Cynthia Ann Bloom Mathis of Ironville, Georgia, the family of Mr. John Arthur Mays Jr. of Smithfield, Georgia, would like to thank their many friends for all of the many kindnesses shown to them during their hours of sorrow and bereavement during the past week. May God bless each of you is their prayer. The Jwwilliams funeral directors serving Cordele and Vienna were in charge of each of these arrangements during the past week. And now, it is certainly with the deepest regret that we make the following announcements. Mr. Thomas Lee Talbert, age 68, of 12 Sook Road, Rochelle, Georgia, died Thursday, June 26, at Emory Hospital in Warner Robins, Georgia. Survivors include his loving and devoted wife, Mrs. Denise Winslow Talbert of Rochelle, Georgia. His beloved son, Mr. Thomas Copeland of Rochelle, Georgia. His godchildren, Mr. Lethal Ward, Miss Makita Pugh, Miss Vanessa Winslow, Miss Carla Pugh, Miss Andrea Vickers, Mr. Malicious Prather, Mrs. Kashana Pugh, Mr. Kadeen Hope and his wife, Mrs. Jaleesa Hope, and Mr. Jerry Hope. 21 beloved grandchildren, 11 great-grandchildren, his beloved sisters, Mrs. Bernice Wright, Miss Annie Ruth Talbert, Mrs. Alice Coley, and her husband, Mr. Johnny Coley, all of Rochelle, Georgia. His beloved brothers, Mr. Johnny Talbert of Atlanta, Georgia, and Mr. Victor Denmark and his wife, Mrs. Sharon Denmark of Queensland, Georgia. His beloved in-law, Mr. Julius Winslow of Byronville, Georgia, Mrs. Jeanette Davis and her husband, Mr. Kenneth Davis of Perry, Georgia, Miss Tammy Martin of Unadilla, Georgia, Mrs. Furlow Pryor and her husband, Mr. Terry Pryor of Macon, Georgia, and Mr. Jeffrey Winslow and his wife, Mrs. Vanessa Winslow of Atlanta, Georgia. A host of beloved nieces, nephews, cousins, other relatives, and many, many sorrowing friends to include Miss Fabian Reese of Rochelle, Georgia, survived Mr. Thomas Lee Talbert, age 68, of 12 Smoot Road, Rochelle, Georgia. The funeral service for Mr. Thomas Lee Talbert, age 68, will be held on Wednesday, July 2nd, in the chapel of the Jwwilliams Funeral Home in Cordele, Georgia. His pastor, the Reverend Travis Johnson, pastor of the Piney Grove Baptist Church of Rochelle, Georgia, will officiate. The burial will follow at the Piney Grove Church Cemetery in Rochelle, Georgia. The public visitation will be Tuesday, July 1st from 1 until 5 p.m. at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home. Mr. Leonard Ray Jr., age 60, of 1106 McClendon Court, Cordele, Georgia, died Thursday, June 26, at his residence in Cordele, Georgia. Survivors include his loving and devoted parents, Mrs. Clara Brooks of Cordele, Georgia, and Mr. Leonard Ray and his wife, Mrs. Brenda Ray of Cordele, Georgia. His beloved children, Miss Lakeisha Ray, Miss Shabrika Ray, and Miss April Hope, all of Sylvester, Georgia. Miss Natasha Smith of Athens, Georgia. Miss Carla Smith of Jacksonville, Florida. Miss Angela Smith of Jacksonville, North Carolina. Mr. Keon Ray of Douglas, Georgia. And Mr. Johnny Smith of Jacksonville, Florida. 16 beloved grandchildren, to include those he reared: Mr. Natavius Smith and Mrs. Nasha Smith of Sylvester, Georgia. His beloved sister, Mrs. Krista D. Ray Clark of Perry, Georgia. Mrs. Veronica Oliver and her husband, Mr. Willie Oliver of Cordele, Georgia. Miss Victoria R. James and Miss Tawana Ray, both of Warner Robins, Georgia. Miss Valerie Power of Atlanta, Georgia, and Miss Samantha Ray of Albany, Georgia. His beloved brothers, Mr. Tyrone Ray and his wife, Mrs. Crystal Ray of Albany, Georgia, and Mr. James C. Ray of Cordele, Georgia. His beloved aunts and uncles, Miss Willa Bell and her husband, Mr. Levi Bell of Jacksonville, Florida, Mr. Neil Ray and his wife, Mrs. Ernestine Ray of Warwick, Georgia, Mr. Spivey Ray Jr. of Cordele, Georgia, Mr. Robert Ray and his wife, Dr. Valine Ray of Albany, Georgia, Mrs. Ida Williams and Mrs. Sue Ellen White, both of Tampa, Florida. A host of beloved nieces, nephews, cousins, to include his special cousin, Mr. Clay Burns of Araby, Georgia, and Mrs. Lorinda Oliver and her husband, Mr. Lorenzo Oliver of Cordele, Georgia. A host of other relatives and many, many sorrowing friends survive Mr. Leonard Ray Jr., age 60, of 1106 McClendon Court, Cordele, Georgia. The funeral service for Mr. Leonard Ray Jr., age 60, will be held on Saturday, July 5th at 10 a.m. in the sanctuary of the Little Rock Baptist Church in Arabi, Georgia. The pastor, Reverend Joseph Green, will officiate. The burial will follow in the churchyard cemetery. The public visitation will be Friday, July 4th from 1 until 5 p.m. at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home. Retired educator Mr. Easton Ray Lawrence, age 82, 104 Georgia Highway 27 East, Americus, Georgia, died Sunday, June 22nd at the Phoebe Sumter Medical Center in Americus, Georgia. Survivors include his loving and devoted wife, Mrs. Barbara Patricia Lawrence of Americus, Georgia, his loving and devoted children, Mr. Everton Lawrence, Mr. Emerson Lawrence, Mr. Irvin Lawrence, and Miss Emily Simpson. His beloved grandchildren and great-grandchildren, 8 beloved siblings, a host of nieces, nephews, cousins, other relatives, and many, many sorrowing friends survive. Retired educator and Reverend Easton Ray Lawrence, age 82, 104 Georgia Highway 27 East, Americus, Georgia. The public visitation for retired educator Reverend Easton Ray Lawrence, age 82, will be held Wednesday, July 30th, 2025, from 1 until 5 p.m. at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home. The funeral service will be held on Saturday, August 2nd, 2025, in his native land at the sanctuary of the Suburban Baptist Church in Montego Bay, Jamaica. The burial will follow at the Lawrence Family Cemetery in Montego Bay, Jamaica. Miss Mary Hazel Sims Wiggins, age 82, of Cape Coral, Florida, formerly of Smithville, Georgia, died Saturday, June 21st at Health Park Medical Center in Fort Myers, Florida. Survivors include her loving and devoted daughter, Miss Kelly N. Sims of Arlington, Virginia, her loving grandchildren, Mr. Daniel M. Jones of Rapid City, South Dakota, and Mr. Miles D. Jones of Arlington, Virginia. Her beloved and devoted sisters, Mrs. Annie S. Burks of Ferguson, Mrs. Annie S. Burks Ferguson of Lee Acres, Virginia, Mrs. Gwendolyn Jackson of Lowndes, Georgia, and Mrs. Sabrina L. Angry Barnes of Smyrna, Georgia. A beloved brother, Mr. Lawrence T. Jackson Sr. of Smithville, Georgia. her sister-in-law, Miss Katie Sims of San Diego, California, a host of nieces, nephews, cousins, other relatives, and many, many sorrowing friends survive. Miss Mary Hazel Sims Wiggins, age 82, of Cape Coral, Florida, formerly of Smithfield, Georgia. The funeral service for Miss Mary Hazel Sims Wiggins, age 82, will be held Saturday, July 12 at 11 a.m. in the sanctuary of the Jerusalem Grove Baptist Church in Smithfield, Georgia. The Reverend Ricky Cladd, pastor, the Reverend George F. Mutz Jr. will officiate. The burial will follow in the churchyard cemetery. Miss Shabria T. Collier, age 27, of McDonald, Georgia, formerly of Cordele, Georgia, died Saturday, June 21st, of injuries sustained in an automobile accident. Survivors include her loving and devoted parents, Mr. Miko and Miss Shamika Collier of Hampton, Georgia. Her loving and caring sisters, Miss Tiaja Collier of Atlanta, Georgia, and Miss Tina Collier of Hampton, Georgia. Her beloved and devoted grandfather, Mr. Charles Collier of Cordele, Georgia. A host of caring aunts and uncles, many cousins, other relatives, and many, many sorrowing friends survive. Miss Shabria T. Collier, age 27, of McDonald, Georgia, formerly of Cordele, Georgia. The funeral service for Miss Shabria T. Collier, age 27, will be announced at a later date, pending the completion of the arrangement. Miss Pamela Thomas, age 58, of Palmetto, Georgia, formerly of Rochelle, Georgia, died Friday, June 27th, at her residence in Palmetto, Georgia. The funeral service for Miss Pamela Thomas, age 58, of Palmetto, Georgia, formerly of Rochelle, Georgia, will be announced at a later date, pending the completion of the arrangement. Miss Shakitha Antonia Cannon, age 49, of 81 Barbara Battle Way, Americus, Georgia, died Friday, June 27th, at Wilson Hospice House in Albany, Georgia. Survivors include her loving and devoted children, Miss Tatiana Cannon, Miss Shanika Long, Miss Danita Snipes, and Miss Shamika Cannon, all of Americus, Georgia. 2 beloved grandchildren, her loving and devoted parents, Mr. Lamar Cannon and Miss Beulah Angry, both of Americus, Georgia. 2 beloved brothers, Mr. Travis Angry and Mr. Lamaris Angry, both of Americus, Georgia. A beloved niece, Miss Brianna Angry of Americus, Georgia. A special cousin, Miss Felicia Walton of Detroit, Michigan. A host of beloved cousins, other relatives, and many, many sorrowing friends survive Miss Shanika Antonia Cannon, age 49, of 81 Barbara Battleway, Americus, Georgia. The funeral service for Miss Shanika Antonia Cannon will be held at the Antioch Baptist Church in Americus, Georgia. The pastor, Reverend Ricky Cladd, will officiate. The burial will follow in the churchyard cemetery. Jwwilliams funeral directors serving Cordial and Diana are in charge of each of these arrangements during this week. Friends, that conclude our funeral notices for this morning. And as always, we do remind you concerning our pre-funeral arrangements planning available at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home, with packages available with a single pay, a 3-year pay, a 5-year pay, and a 10-year pay. So please stop by and talk with us concerning your pre-funeral arrangements needs available at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home. And also whole life insurance is available at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home.
Worship at the Antioch Baptist Church, as they have their Pack the Pew program on Sunday, today, June 29th at 11 a.m. Anointed Hearts Outreach Ministries Incorporated and Pastor Prophetess Angela Laster Zanders will be in charge of the service. Deacon David Laster, chairman. Reverend Ricky Cladd is the pastor. The Mount Moriah Baptist Church of Unadilla annual homecoming will be Sunday, July 6th, Sunday school at 10 o'clock a.m. with worship service beginning at 11 o'clock a.m. The pastor, Reverend Edward Lester, will deliver the message. The afternoon service will begin at 1:30 p.m. with the Green Grove Baptist Church and Reverend Darrell McIntosh in charge of the service. Dinner will be served. The annual revival service will begin on Monday, July 7th through Thursday, July 10th at 7 p.m. Our program will be Monday, Union Baptist Church and Reverend David Stanley. Tuesday, Greater Macedonia Baptist Church and Reverend Elgin Dixon. Wednesday, Linwood Baptist Church and Dr. Willie Pyramid. Thursday, First Fellowship Full Gospel Baptist Church and Dr. Horace Wright. Deacon Bruce Kendrick, Church Secretary. Deacon Earl Jordan, Chairman of Deacons. Reverend Edward Lester is the pastor. The Bay Point CME Church annual revival will begin on Monday, July 28th through Wednesday, July 30th. Our program will be Monday, Faith Memorial CME Church, New Bethel CME Church, Mount Olive Baptist Church, Pleasant Hill Baptist Church, New Bethel CME Church, Ebenezer CME Church, and Reverend Eddie Grant will deliver the message. Tuesday, Byron Chapel CME Church, Mount Zion CME Church, Turkey Creek Baptist Church, Rocky Mount CME Church, Reedy Branch Baptist Church, and Unadilla CME Church. Reverend Andre Mathis will deliver the message. Wednesday, Macedonia Baptist Church, New Bethel Baptist Church, Little Creek Baptist Church, Shady Grove CME Church, Halls Chapel CME Church, and Mount Pleasant Travel Rest Church. Reverend Lewis Burton will deliver the message. Cecily Lane Leggett, Secretary, Stuart Lawrence Leggett, Chairman of Stewards, Reverend Tangela Azubia is the pastor. The New Poplar Spring Baptist Church invites everyone to worship with them each Sunday at 9:45 a.m. Each Wednesday via conference call at 6:30 a.m. for morning prayer and at 7 p.m. for an hour of encouragement. The dial-in number is 253-993-3761. There will be no worship service today. Pastor Teacher Johnny Dean is the pastor. The New Ebenezer Baptist Church of Americas will have the installation service for Reverend Willie James Felton on Sunday, August 3rd at 2 o'clock p.m. Deacon Jeffrey Hall, Chairman, Reverend Willie James Felton, Pastor-elect. The Mount Olive Baptist Church of Warwick will have a program today beginning at 3 o'clock p.m. Reverend John McCrae will be the guest speaker. Proceeds will go to the Benevolent Fund. Mount Olive Men and Women's Day program will be on Sunday, July 6th at 10 o'clock a.m. Everyone is invited to these services. Mother Willie Mae Walker, Church Mother, Deacon Lindbergh Williams Jr., Chairman of Deacons, Bishop Jerome Milton is the pastor. Temple of Praise Church of God by Faith, of Cordial, will not have service today, but will resume service on Sunday, July 6th at 11:15 a.m. Elder Michael Wyndham is the pastor. The St. Paul Presbyterian Church, of Cordial, First Tuesday gathering for Bible study will be Tuesday, July 1st at 6 o'clock p.m. Everyone is welcome. Elder Obita Hageman, study leader. The Little Rock Baptist Church annual church revival will begin on Wednesday, July 9th through Friday, July 11th at 7 o'clock p.m. Reverend Lorenzo Hurd will be the guest revivalist. The homecoming celebration will be on Sunday, July 13th at 10 a.m. Everyone is cordially invited to attend. Reverend Joseph Green is the pastor. The Zion Hope Baptist Church of Winona annual revival will be Thursday, July 24th at 7 o'clock p.m. The New Williams Road Baptist Church and Pastor Nikita Lester will be in charge of the service. The revival will climax on Sunday, July 27th at 2 o'clock p.m. The Beautiful Zion Baptist Church and choir will be in charge of the service. Mother Elaine Bryant, Church Mother, Deacon Xavier Bryant is Chairman of Deacons. Reverend Willie James Felton is the pastor. The Voices of Harmony Community Choir 40th Choir Anniversary will be on Sunday, July 27th at 3 o'clock p.m. at the 3rd Coyote Baptist Church in Albany, Georgia. The public is cordially invited to attend. Mrs. Montresa Allen, Business Manager, Reverend Brian K. Drake is the host pastor. The International Bible-Based Fellowship Organization and Association General Assembly 2025 will climax today, Sunday, June 29th at 11 a.m. Pastor Alan Ray Bolton will be the guest. This event is free and open to the public. The doors will open at 6 o'clock p.m. For more information, you may contact any member of the International Bible-Based Fellowship Organization and Association. Dr. Antoine Yao is the host pastor. The Bethel Christian Methodist Episcopal Church family invites you to join them on July 13th at 3 o'clock p.m. for worship, fellowship, and dining as they recognize Pastor Veronica R. Smith, second year as pastor of the Bethel CME Church. A very special program has been planned. The Reverend Robert L. Henderson will bring the anniversary message, and everyone has a cordial invitation to attend. Sister Marion Buchanan, Chair of Pastors Appreciation Committee. Pastor Veronica R. Smith is the pastor. You're invited to worship with the St. King Missionary Baptist Church on Sunday, July 13th, in celebration of Pastor Woody Burnham's 22nd pastor's anniversary. The service will begin at 10:15 a.m. Reverend Joyce A. Daniels will deliver the message. Everyone has a cordial invitation to attend. Reverend Woody C. Burnham is the pastor. Reverend Joyce Daniels is the assistant pastor. First Lady Patricia Burnham is the clerk. You're cordially invited to worship at the Greater Mars Tabernacle Baptist Church today. Worship service begins at 9 o'clock a.m. Worship and Sunday school at 9:30. Sunday school at 9 a.m. Worship service at 9:30 a.m. Mother Mary Henderson, Church Mother, Deacon Arthur L. Parker, Chairman of Deacons. Dr. K.M. Williams is the pastor. The Mount Zion First African Baptist Church invites you to worship with them during their worship service each first and third Sunday. The New Oak Grove Baptist Church extends a cordial invitation for everyone to worship with them today. Sunday school at 9:15 a.m., worship service at 10 o'clock a.m. Deacon Alonzo Jones, chairman of deacons. Reverend W.W. Wilson is the pastor. You're cordially invited to worship with the Mount Calvary Baptist Church today. Worship service Sunday school begins at 9:45 a.m., worship service at 10:45 a.m., as this will be Achievement Day for the young people of Mount Calvary. Everyone has a cordial invitation to attend. Deacon Leon Spears, chairman of deacons. Reverend Isaac Owens is the pastor. You're cordially invited to worship at the Emmanuel Baptist Church today. Worship service with Sunday school begins at 10 o'clock a.m., worship service at 11:15 a.m. Bible study is held each Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Mother William McGill, church mother. Reverend Gregory Williams is the pastor. The Evergreen Baptist Church of Rochelle invites everyone to worship with them each second Sunday at 11 o'clock a.m. Reverend Sean Philpott is the pastor. We also like to remind you, if you have announcements that you would like for us to use on our Sunday morning program, please get those announcements to us. You may bring them to us at the funeral home Monday through Saturday up until 12 o'clock noon, or you may drop them by, or you may email them to us at info@jwwilliams.com, or as always, you may fax them to us at 229-273-5111. Again, that number is 229-273-5111. Also, we would like to remind you of upcoming events that will be taking place, and we ask that you would bear all of these announcements this morning in mind, as we will also like to remind you that the House of Prayer by Faith Church, God's Hospital, will have its 46th church appreciation on Thursday, July 24th at 7 o'clock p.m. Our program will be Pastor Gloria Pollard Cannon, Bishop Johnny Gardner, Apostle Jimmy Gardner. Everyone has a cordial invitation to attend. And that concludes our announcements for this morning.
And now for dedication. Our first selection this morning is dedicated to the following in loving memory of Mr. Xavier Johnson, also known as Tron, who departed this life June 25th, 2021. Dedication requested by his beloved wife, Miss Diana Johnson, his children, his beloved mother, Miss Carolyn Beal Thomas, his twin sister, Miss Benika Johnson, his brother, Sergeant Hamilton Thomas, and the entire family. Pause and remember the life of Mr. Xavier Johnson, gone but not forgotten, also known as Tron. Our first selection this morning is dedicated to the following. Happy 50th anniversary to Mr. Cooper and Mrs. Brenda Davis, who celebrated their anniversary on today, Sunday, June 29th. Dedication requested by their beloved family. Happy 50th anniversary to Mr. Cooper and Mrs. Brenda Davis. God continue to bless your union and keep it strong. Happy anniversary to Brother Walter and Mrs. Brenda Edwards, who will celebrate their anniversary Monday, June 30th. Dedication requested by the Edwards and Jackson family. God continue to bless your union and keep it strong. Brother Walter Edwards and Mrs. Brenda Edwards. Happy anniversary. Our first selection this morning goes out to the following special birthday wish. Happy birthday to Mother Lucille Daniel, who celebrated her 100th birthday on yesterday, Saturday, June 28th. Dedication requested by her children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, her nieces, nephews, and the entire Daniels family. Happy birthday to Mother Lucille Daniels, who celebrated her 100th birthday on yesterday here in Cordele at the Chris County Recreation Department with all her family and friends with her on yesterday. 100th birthday. God bless you, Mother Daniels, and many, many more. Happy birthday to Mr. Stoney Lawton, who celebrated his birthday Saturday, June 28th. Dedication requested by his beloved mother, Mrs. Barbara Roberts, and the entire Lawton and Epps family. Happy birthday to Miss Geraldine Harvey, who is celebrating her birthday today, Sunday, June 29th. Dedication requested by her beloved children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and her Gethsemane Baptist Church family, where she served so faithfully as an usher there for many, many years. Happy birthday to Mrs. Geraldine Harvey, who's celebrating her birthday today, June 29th. God bless you, and many, many more. Happy birthday to Mr. Lorenzo Jones, who is celebrating his birthday today, Sunday, June 28th. Dedication requested by his beloved family, the Jones family, and his church family, the New Oak Grove Baptist Church. There, Brother Lorenzo Jones. Happy birthday to Miss Shirley Epps, who will celebrate her birthday Monday, June 30th. Dedication requested by the entire Epps family. Special birthday wishes goes out to Mrs. Rosa Hopper, who will celebrate her birthday Monday, June 30th. Dedication requested by all of her children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. Happy birthday to Mrs. Rosa Hopper, who celebrated her birthday on Monday. God bless you, many, many more. Special birthday wishes goes out to our brother longstanding, Brother Walter Edwards, who will celebrate his birthday on Monday, June 30th. Dedication requested by his beloved family there, Brother Walter Edwards. And happy birthday special goes out to Mrs. Wanda Edward Stevens of Cordele and Savannah, who will celebrate her birthday Tuesday, July 1st. Dedication requested by her husband, Deacon Raleigh Stevens Jr., children, grandchildren, and the entire family, and her church family of Cordele, Georgia, Pastor Dr. Jwwilliams, Deacon Tommy Ford, and the entire membership says happy birthday to Mrs. Wanda Edward Stevens, and the Fifth Avenue crew says happy birthday to Mrs. Wanda Edward Stevens, our childhood friend. Our selection this morning goes out to Deacon George Jordan and family, Vienna, Georgia, Deacon Jerome Jordan and family, Mr. and Mrs. Willie James Patrick and family, Mother Willie May Leary and family of Hatley, Georgia, Mother Willie May Walker and family, Mrs. Lucille Fagan Baker and family, Deacon and Mrs. Jimmy Fagan and family, Miss Willie Mae Crapp and family, Mr. Freddie and Miss Bernice Pittman and family, Deaconess Martha A. Cross and family, Deacon William and Sister Robbie Durham have all been in Cordele, Georgia, Mother Willie McGill and family, Mr. Roscoe Applin and family, Mr. and Mrs. Willie Frank Collier and family, Mr. Gus Williams and family, Miss Marion Felton and family, Deacon Lonnie Hoggerbrook and family, Mrs. Sharon Chambliss and family, Mother Frances Chambliss and family, Deacon Mrs. Verdia Burks and family, Mr. James Grant and family, Mr. Curtina Grant and family, Miss Debbie Reed and family, Mrs. Stephanie Grant and family, the children of the late Mother Grace Patrick, Mr. and Mrs. Jimmy Pasmo and family, Mr. and Mrs. Keith Bryant and family, Miss Denise Walker and family, the Eddie Hester family, Pine family, Mrs. Bernice Smith and family, Chairman Deacon Sammy McGill and Sister Shanice McGill and family, Mr. Willie Charlo and family, Deacon and Mrs. Charles Glenn and family, the family family of the late Mother Cornelius Jackson, Mr. and Mrs. Dwight Timmons and family, Miss Sue James and family, the Reverend Joe Lee Butts and family, Mrs. Joanne Atkins and family, Mrs. Faustine Carruthers and family, Linda Wilson and family, Mrs. Donna Cobb and family, the Reverend Jimmy Felton and the entire Felton family, and the staff of BJ's Diner, Mrs. China Ezel and family, Mrs. Willie Shivers and family, Deaconess Carrie Brooks and family, the Reverend and Mrs. Woody Barnum and family, Miss Marion Golphin and family, Mr. and Mrs. Charlie Clark and family, Deacon Michael Morgan and family, the family of the late Deacon Henry King of the Gethsemane Baptist Church, Mr. and Mrs. Alonzo Flood and family, Deacon and Mrs. Otis Blanks and family, Mrs. James Russell Brunel and family. It is certainly with the deepest regret that we make the following announcement. Mr. Thomas Lee Talbert, age 68, of 12 Smoke Road, Rochelle, Georgia, died Thursday, June 26, at Emory Hospital in Warner Robins, Georgia. The funeral service for Mr. Thomas Lee Talbert, age 68, will be held on Wednesday, July 2nd, in the chapel of the Jwwilliams Funeral Home in Cordele, Georgia. His pastor, the Reverend Travis Johnson, pastor of the Piney Grove Baptist Church in Rochelle, Georgia, will officiate. The burial will follow at the Piney Grove Church Cemetery in Rochelle, Georgia. The public visitation will be Tuesday, July 1st from 1 until 5 p.m. at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home. Mr. Leonard Ray Jr., age 60, of 1106 McClendon Court, Cordele, Georgia, died Thursday, June 26, at his residence in Cordele, Georgia. The funeral service for Mr. Leonard Ray Jr., age 60, will be held on Saturday, July 5th at 10 a.m. in the sanctuary of the Little Rock Baptist Church in Araby, Georgia. The pastor, Reverend Joseph Green, will officiate. The burial will follow in the Churchyard Cemetery. The public visitation will be Friday, July 4th from 1 until 5 p.m. at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home. Retired educator, Reverend Easton Ray Lawrence, age 82, of 104 Georgia Highway 27 East, Americus, Georgia, died Sunday, June 22nd at the Phoebe Sumter Medical Center in Americus, Georgia. The public visitation will be on Wednesday, June 30th, 2025, from 1 until 5 p.m. at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home. The funeral service will be in his native land Saturday, August 2nd, 2025, in the sanctuary of the Sunburst Baptist Church in Montego Bay, Jamaica. The burial will follow at the Lawrence Family Cemetery in Montego Bay, Jamaica. Miss Mary Hazel Sims Wiggins, age 82, of Cape Coral, Florida, formerly of Smithville, Georgia, died Saturday, June 21st at Health Park Medical Center in Fort Myers, Florida. The funeral service for Mrs. Mary Hazel Sims Wiggins will be held on Saturday, July 12 at 11 a.m. in the sanctuary of the Jerusalem Grove Baptist Church in Smithville, Georgia. The Reverend Ricky Cladd, pastor, the Reverend George Frank Muntz will deliver the eulogy. The burial will follow in the Churchyard Cemetery. Miss Shabrika T. Collier, age 27, of McDonald, Georgia, died Saturday, June 21st, of injuries sustained in an automobile accident. The funeral service for Miss Shabrika T. Collier, age 27, will be announced at a later date pending the completion of the arrangements. Miss Pamela Thomas, age 58, of Palmetto, Georgia, formerly of Rochelle, Georgia, died Friday, June 27th at a residence in Palmetto, Georgia. The funeral service for Miss Pamela Thomas, age 58, will be announced at a later date pending the completion of the arrangements. Miss Shanika Antonia Cannon, age 49, of 81 Barbara Battle Way, Americas, Georgia, died Friday, June 27 at Wilson Hospice House in Albany, Georgia. The funeral service for Miss Shanika Antonia Cannon, age 49, will be held at the Antioch Baptist Church in Americus, Georgia. The pastor, Reverend Ricky Cladd, will officiate. The burial will follow in the churchyard cemetery. The Jwwilliams funeral directors serving Cordele and Vienna are in charge of each of these arrangements during this week. Our program this morning is dedicated to the bereaved families whose loved ones were laid to rest during the past week. The family of Mr. Abraham Smith, Jr. of Cobb, Georgia. The family of Mrs. Cynthia Ann Bloom Mathis of Byronville, Georgia. The family of Mr. John Arthur Mays, Jr. of Smithville, Georgia. This selection is dedicated to the bereaved families whose loved ones will be laid to rest during this week. The family of Mr. Thomas Lee Talbert of Rochelle, Georgia. The family of Mr. Leonard Ray Jr. of Cordele, Georgia. The family of retired educator, the Reverend Easton Ray Lawrence of Americas, Georgia and Jamaica. The family of Miss Mary Hazel Sims Wiggins of Cape Coral, Florida, formerly of Smithville, Georgia. The family of Miss Shabrika T. Collier of McDonald, Georgia. The family of Miss Pamela Thomas of Palmetto, Georgia, formerly of Rochelle, Georgia. The family of Miss Shanika Antonia Cannon of Americus, Georgia. This selection is dedicated to all of the sick and shut-in, to all patients in the local and surrounding hospitals, nursing homes, and rehabilitation centers, to our beloved ministers and their devoted family members, to all retired educators, to the men and women serving in our armed forces, both stateside and abroad, to all veterans, and to everyone who listens to our program on each Sunday morning. It's a pleasure for us to bring it to you. Our program goes out in memory of our past president, Dr. Napoleon Williams, to my wife, Mrs. Calandra Wilkerson Parker, to my son, Jai Wilkerson Parker. Our final selection for this morning.
Yes, I'm going to walk. Oh, that will keep my way. Oh, child.
Thank you for joining us this morning. We hope you've enjoyed our program. Tune in again on next Sunday morning. In your time of need, contact the competent, capable, and dependable staff at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home.
Summer